Okay, number 4, old business. We have approval of business applicant New Orleans auction. Greg, I'm gonna let you handle this since I'm accused on any New Orleans auction. And when it comes to a vote, Mr. Lamar, I will turn over the gavel to you. So for the record,
I'm taking the gavel?
no,
Oh.
Mr. Lamar will call the vote, but you're handling New Orleans auction gallery. So any questions,
Yeah.
people can
I
address
don't
them
really
to you.
know. You told me what it was, but I didn't see anything to
They
worry
apply
about.
for a business license.
Right.
I'm recusing since I am employed at New Orleans auction.
Basically, so, and this was basically, I told the attorney for New Orleans auction that they're in the process of selling the auction to the bankruptcy, all the stock, excuse me, for the auction. And once it's transferred out of Gene Vitos's name, then they would not really have a license to operate the auction any longer. So they want to be approved to continue operating after the transfer, that they need to have this done. Once they do transfer it and we see who actually has bought the stock, we have a right to review that individual or company to see if there's any issue with them. And we can certainly come back, but this is to cover the lapse of time between now and September, since the sale may occur in August, according to the current, current timeline that's proposed in the bankruptcy proceeding.
Okay. Why would New Orleans, would they be still operating if it's sold? Are they,
Yes.
are they gonna create another company?
Yeah.
Or are they gonna, well, why would they need a license to
Because
continue
their
operating?
license is, right now, is based on the individual auctioneer, Gene Vitos. It's her company, she owns 100% of it. Once, she's gonna be divested of all the stock through the sale, according to the proposal that's now in the bankruptcy court. Once she has no ownership interest in the auction, she cannot have that business riding on her individual auction license. So in other words, that business would then have no license to operate once that sale goes through.
Do we know who the potential purchaser is?
We have a stalking horse, I think Mr. Burns had talked about that, which is, the gentleman's name I never can remember.
Schaffenberg, and you say
Yeah, Schaffenberg Assets, which is a Mississippi company.
Does he hold a license in Mississippi?
No, he's not in the business of auctioneering.
So he's just an investor?
Probably, I'm not sure what he does, but if he purchases it, New Orleans Auction is in the business of auctioneering, so it would have to have its own license. It could no longer rely on Ms. Vitos' license.
Okay, I understand that. I caught all that. I was more so concerned about whose name would be on the applicant's license.
We don't know yet. We do not know who's going to individually pick this up, whether it's a business or other. He has put his bid in according to the bankruptcy court. Others can actually bid on it. A higher bid than that would have to go through a proceeding with the court, and then the court has to approve the sale anyway. So the court still controls.
Correct, I understand that.
And we have a right, once that is taken care of and the bankruptcy court approves it, we have a right to come in then and look at the individual purchaser. And then make a determination when that happens, as we do normally when you have a sale of a business. This actually has happened before. We look at the purchaser, and if we need to investigate the purchaser, we do.
Correct, but I mean, the name New Orleans Auction Gallery does not have a name associated with it. So we're actually trying to approve a blank application.
No, it has Gene
No.
Vitos.
Yeah, right now it says Gene Vitos.
She owns 100%, but that's just for the moment. They've already determined that 100% of those shares will transfer.
Correct. I mean, but she still has New Orleans Auction Gallery.
Right.
But she also has a home license, is correct.
She has an individual license.
She doesn't have a business license.
She doesn't have a business license. They need a business license to operate.
Okay, so.
I make a motion that we approve the application.
I'll second that.
You want to call for a vote, Mr. Lamar? Mr. Lamar, you want to call for a vote?
Yes, yes, I'll call for a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to make a substitute motion.
We have to get approval from Mr. Bordelon, who made the original motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a substitute motion that we table the business applicant until after we find out what direction New Orleans auction is going in and who's the potential buyer of the stock.
Do we have a second? Motion fails.
Let the record state, the motion was made.
All motions are captured in the minutes.
So who's the one that's accountable for this business license in the interim?
Bankruptcy court. In touch with the judge, she's controlling, literally micromanaging it at this point. So I'm not concerned about the business at this point. Once it's released from bankruptcy court protection, then I'm concerned. And I
that
want
would
to
be
make
in
sure that
September, right?
I want to have jurisdiction over that auction house once the bankruptcy court says you're out of bankruptcy.
Well, so if a complaint were to be filed in between, we just take it to the bankruptcy judge and say,
There's a stay on right now. We would have to go through the bankruptcy court.
okay,
And I believe there are some actually they're looking at.
so that the bankruptcy court is looking at some complaints?
And they're stayed right now.
So we have a motion from Greg that they be approved. We have a second from Mr. Lamar. Mr. Lamar called for the
I
vote.
call for the question.
You have to say, all those in favor.
Well, I believe, we did that, but
Oh,
I
I
just want to
did.
make sure that I got everybody,
Yeah, it was sort of like,
It's hers and ours.
because you didn't vocally say if you, I know you put in a
Well,
second.
I didn't hear the question.
Okay,
All
that's
the-
why I'm
He called
asking.
for the vote,
He
and I
called-
didn't hear, I heard a second, but that
He
was
called for the vote and several people said yes. So I'm just trying to make
No,
sure I get the
I-
record correct.
it. Correct, I'll post it.
You'll be opposing, okay.
So it,
It's back to you.
all right, so the motion passed.
Yes, the motion
Okay.
passed.
Number 2, approval of a